Good, good morning, good morning. Another day, of course. Sun is shining. Weather is good. It's New York, and I'm sure one of these days I'll have to do me a documentary. I have so many things to say. Small pieces or excerpts from all the stories I have, my life story, need more than just 10 or 15 minutes. Anyway, this morning talk is brought to you by Ivanetti After School and Tutoring Services, located in the Bronx, New York, a place where education remains a priority. This morning I would like to talk about grounded. My topic is grounded and guided by morals, by early moral conviction. So I'm grounded and guided by an early moral conviction. It goes way back. We all have our beginnings at home, and this is where our attitudes are developed, and conviction makes its entrance. If the environment is an environment of truth, then conviction, would definitely be an early acceptance. I was raised in an environment where truth or fairness had demonstrated itself consistently. And because of that, the kind of guidance after moving over to being responsible for anything that you do or being responsible for yourself, those were the things that were left for me to guide. Those were the guidelines. Truth, honesty, morality, and anything that speaks to just being fairness. That's the legacy that my grandparents displayed or portrayed or left me. Of course, that's what I received from them, being the integral part of my life. I think it has worked well for me. I'm not saying the same thing would work for everybody, because being that I've lived through a time in my area where there are so many different distractions, it is more than evident that my life, and I'm speaking from an individual standpoint, my life take on this form based on the way I was raised. Again, I'm not trying to speak on behalf of anybody else but myself. I have grown to be the person I am, and I'm not saying it's I am the standards, but I am the standard by which everybody is judged. But being satisfied or somewhat satisfied with my behavior, my attitude, adherence to what is right, I really think that I have gained. I really believe I have gained. I have gained tremendously. I I was raised in an environment where it was very puzzling at times to a young person. My grandparents were those that relied on orderly conduct. Their attitude towards life was not according to an end result. It was more consistent of the journey. And for those who have known me or who can fairly assess me, they know that the environment that I was in was very, what must I say now, conducive to any young person moving in a direction that does not speak to morality. However, I am not here to say that I was not introduced, or I was not somewhat attracted to the lifestyle, but because of the guidance, because I was grounded, I'm always going back to that level, that knowledge, that hand me down great moral value. I'm always reflecting, and I would say to myself, if I'm wrong about something, or if I go really deep into something and I'm wrong, the first thing I would say to myself, oh mama, would I think about this? So those are kind of my guidance, and that was brought on through respect. The respect I had, or still have, for my grandparents, that's what culminated into a lifestyle that is guided by early moral conviction. Had it not been for their teaching and based on the environment raised in, things may have been different. But, as one would believe that good overpowers evil, I think that, whatever I was introduced to, whatever had my interest or piqued my interest at times, if that could not have been stacked up against morality, ethics, then it would be a no-no for me. When I came to the US of A in the late 80s, I was confronted with the same situation. Nothing different. It was all flair and games and, somewhat looking like great achievement. And of course, looked attractive. I was young. It also looked attractive. But again, I'm guided and grounded in an early conviction. So I realized there was that stone wall that was placed there, and say, Ray, that's not for you, because you're grounded and guided by that early conviction. So, I disassociate myself. I was at times ridiculed. I can remember one person saying to me, man, you're in America for almost 6 months and you can't even buy a car, because I was taking the bus, taking the train all over the place. And again, being grounded in an early conviction, it did not faze me. It did not push me in any direction that would not be conducive to my early conviction. So, I continued on my path, and as usual, education is the way for me. And again, I'm speaking about Ray Johnson right now. Education is the way for me. That's the way out. That's my giving back to society. That's my way of, trying to make society a better place. So I embarked on that, and until now, I am still grounded and directed by that early conviction. I can't see otherwise. I am so tunnel visioned, and it may be it's the best way. I'm not going to say maybe. It's the best choice that I have made. The only disappointment I have in this route is that I should have applied myself at a much earlier stage. That's the only disappointment. But again, I have to be thankful for the forerunners, for those who gave me that pattern, those who gave me that roadmap to move ahead. It's a roadmap that speaks to purity, a roadmap that direct your resources, your thinking according to truth. I oh, that car just interrupted me. I want to say though that it is a conviction that I continuously try to pass on to those who have come in contact with me all the time. Especially, always speak for the younger persons, because sometimes we are all, grounded in whatever we are now at an older age. So I speak to the younger children, not trying to sway them to think according to the way I am thinking, but to think logically and let truth be your guide. But as I said before, I'm grounded and directed by an early conviction. So it's on the parents to understand that the way you live can serve and will serve as a guide to your children going forward and to children of the world. Again, this talk is on behalf of the younger folks, and it's brought to you by Ivanetti After School and Tutoring Services, the place where knowledge is a priority and a premium. Thank you.